Hey guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I am here to share with you the April Christmas Stampathon challenge. Now this month we are doing black and white and a pop of colour, so just one colour with a pop. So I have chosen Daffodil Delight, and I have had the unfortunate problem, I suppose you could say, of some of my Christmas stamps leaving the catalogues over the last, from the holiday catalogue and the upcoming annual catalogue. So I know what's coming, and I've dipped in and I have finally bought the Star of Light bundle. So I've bought the stamp set and the dies, and I will show you the dies here. This one's upside down. So beautiful dies to go with the stamp set. And I've come up with this card. Fairly simple, but you know, you guys know me. Never simple, looks simple, but there are a few extra steps to give it a bit of pizzazz. So I have put some Winker Stella on this, and I will show you exactly how I do it all in just 1 second. Now just excuse me, big reach, I forgot to get down one thing ready. Okay, so I'm going to pop all these aside because I pretty much have everything prepped. And just, so we're making 4 cards, so I'm going to show you my 4th card. Now I have pre-cut everything, so I'm using a thick Whisper White card base. I am using now this is 10 centimeters by 14.4, and then I have gone an extra ½ centimeter smaller for this layer. So this one makes this 9.5 by 13.9 for those playing with A4 cardstock, but I've basically just stepped it down, as you can see from up here. So I'm going to pop the base and the layering mat away, and I'm going to pop these stars to the side. So I already have pre-mounted here a number of our star stamps. Now I'm going to use my very long suffering and long forgotten about Craft Whisper White pigment ink pad. So what I've done here, I've stamped the stars in the background, and what I wanted to create was stars but not have them in the foreground. Now what my son actually suggested was that I use texture paste, and I went, mate, that's a really good idea, but I didn't want everything white. So I'm using this so you guys can, so they're just there, but they're in the background. So you can see I'm not getting a perfect inking. This really needs re-inking, but I have resisted the urge to re-ink it to get a crisper white image, because I really do want this faded look. So the Daffodil Delight star really stands out. So I've just done a cluster of 3 of this large one. So I'm finished with that. I'm going to come in with this middle size one, and now I know where my star's going. So I am just filling it in, and I am getting notifications on my watch left, right and centre here, guys. You can see all my notifications if you're smart. Do I want another one of this one? I might just be a bit different and pop one at the bottom, because on all my other mats I haven't done anything. Now I've layered these 4 little stars, one on each side of these blocks. I know that's a huge block for such little stars, but it was a block I had out on the table at the time. Okay, and one over here. I like doing things in 3s. 3s or 5s or 1. Those odd numbers are really pleasing to the eye. I put that one just there. And another one. Actually, I think I'll just do one of that one at the moment. And I just want to put in some of these more solid ones and see how we go. Just going in and filling in the gaps. Now, to remind you guys, as I'm pondering and stamping here, how the Christmas challenge works. We have a Facebook page that I will have linked under this video, and you ask to sign up and we will approve you, and you join. There will be a specific post for this month's challenge, and you create 4 of your black, white and a pop of colour cards. And if it's your first month of participating, you will earn points. So, or tickets. You'll earn tickets. So for each month, every month you participate, you will earn more tickets. And then your name with the number of tickets will go in the drawer for your country. So we have the US, UK, I think it's UK/Europe. Ruth will be able to tell you about that, and Australia. And we are providing prizes for those regions. So all the demonstrators, so we've got myself and Rosalie Desmond in Australia, and we have Ruth Trice in Artful Stamping in the UK, and we have Denise, who is Ladybug Stamping in the US. So I'm going to take the sentiment and white heat emboss this. And now I need to use my embossing buddy before I go anywhere here, because I always forget and I always get stray bits. So yeah, we're all giving away a prize at the end of this year, and the whole point of the challenge is that we get ready and be prepared for Christmas. So this is 4 cards that I'm ahead with. I do have a lot of cards in my stash this year. It's fantastic, actually. I'm really, really happy. So I've got my white embossing powder and just got my tray off to the side here. So I'm going to open this, pop it in the tray. Okay, I'm all ready. Embossing, I always like to be prepared. So just inking this up with our Versamark ink. Okay, now I've got this lined up so I can, sorry if my head gets in the way here, just so I can get this fairly straight. Now I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want these words to squish. I had on a couple of my other samples that the words did squish down a bit too much for my liking. So pop the embossing powder on. See if I'm having a good hand day or a bad hand day. Try and get most of this back in the pot. That looks fantastic. And we can watch the magic. Now, because I have, I'm embossing onto vellum here, I just want to preheat my heat tool so that stops as much, getting as much warping. So just now going to bring that and it's just going to melt a lot quicker. So I'm just going to keep it moving. Hopefully you guys can see that changing, becoming nice and bright and white. So, and that is done. Okay, so just going to pop that up there. I'm going to bring in my star. Actually, what I'm going to do, because I know I will have a disaster and knock it over and it will go everywhere. Okay, so this actual die here, I'll show you which one it is on the sheet. It's got little lines in it which gives a really nice subtle texture. So hopefully you can pick that up. I think this texture will show up a bit more on cardstock to vellum. Now, just let me show you here. How I coloured this is I used our Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to take, if I can get it out, the lightest of our Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends and just give it a scribble. Now, I know our Stampin' Blends aren't available at the moment in all our markets, but they will be available at the end of May, so don't fear. They haven't gone away. It's just the demand got too much, and before we went into a horrendous back order situation, they pulled the whole line so they can replenish all our stocks and we don't go into a back order situation that that isn't sustainable for the company. So they will be back, and when they come back in the annual catalogue, there are even some brand new colours that they are adding to the collection, which is really exciting. So a lot of the new colours that are coming in the colour revamp and the in colours. So that is done there, and I have this little piece here, and what I'm going to do while we're waiting is take our clear Wink Stella brush. So just while this is drying off, take our clear Wink Stella brush and I'm just going to pounce. So pounce and sort of brush it on. Pouncing, this one's a brand new one, so it's really juicy. When I was doing my other cards, I was using my older one, which wasn't quite as juicy. So I think I'm going to fill my older ones up with some alcohol, and not the type you drink, with some alcohol and see if I can revive them. And I'm just curious what happens because they're the first ones I've actually finished. Just brush this on. It'll only take a few seconds to dry and then we'll get gluing all together. So save all my gluing. Now I am ready to assemble my card. So I'm going to get my favourite glue, which always gives me some wiggle room for me who can never get anything straight. So I'm going to bring my daffodil layer, have that ready to go, and I'm just going to, I've sort of changed my technique how I put on this glue. I just put on some dots. So I find I'm using less glue, but I'm getting a bit more slip because they're a bit larger dots, so it gives me a bit more wiggle room time. So pop this here. Let's see how my cutting went earlier and if it's fairly straight, which it is. Great. Okay, now I am going to show you, and I will need a bone folder, so I'll pop that there. So this strip is way too long for what I need. Oops, sorry for knocking you guys there. So I'll grab a pair of scissors as well. And I'm just going to line this up and just center it, which, you know, as I was saying before, is always an issue. Always have issues with getting things straight and centered. So that is roughly correct. So I just give that a bend, and then what I do to make it as straight as I can is I line it up with the rest of this, and then I give it a burnish, which makes it nice and tight. Then I pop it back on the card. So the reason I am doing this is because I want to put all the adhesive on the back, and I don't want any showing on the front, because any adhesive that I put on this vellum is going to show through. So then I can make this super tight, line this up here, give this a burnish right there, and that is super tight, fairly straight and ready to go. So I'm just going to snip off part of this. Doesn't have to be perfect, because it is going to be stuck under the card. So pop those there. And I did have some, sorry guys, I am going to be using fast fuse. I still love it. I love it when the adhesive is right on the top, ready to work. Right. A little bit of fast fuse there. Now, I didn't check at the front. Just want to bring that a touch more down. Pop that on. Then I'm going to put some. And of course, it's not playing today. There we go. I'm just going to put some on here. Make sure that is fairly straight. And stick that down. Great, so that's done. Bring in my card base, grab some more Tombow multi-purpose glue. Now I'm making sure that I do put some of this glue on the vellum there. Probably used a bit too much, just because if I put it here, the vellum is higher, so it won't actually glue as well. Ask me how I know, because it happened on some of my other cards. So make sure the card's opening the right way. Many a time in my craft room I have made upside down cards. Okay, now just over this bit I'm going to pop a block just so that sticks down nicely. And while that's sticking, I will attach these two, and we're nearly finished our card. So what colour do you think you guys are going to use for your pop? I did consider a non-traditional colour, but I had to use yellow for my stars. And I don't know if I mentioned, it is Daffodil Delight. Now, if you want to see some more videos from me, please subscribe to my channel and also press the bell. So that means you'll get a notification of when I load a new video, because YouTube have changed their algorithm and made things harder for us creators. Okay, so that's now stuck. I'll pop that one there just for a few minutes. lid on glue. Oh no, because I'm going to use it again, guys. And I am just going to use those same spots to hide the glue. I'm using teeny tiny spots here. Okay. Just going, now I'm okay that some of this is standing up and it's not perfectly flat on the star. Okay, and I have a little hole there that I would like to put another star, because I've done it in slightly different orientation. So I'll bring back in my craft ink. Oh, sorry, my craft ink. Now, what size star do I want? No, I think I want this one just here. That will look perfect in that spot. Great. So, I think I might want to put a little one there too. Please excuse my blocks cascading in the background there. Okay. No. Don't you hate it when you've over-clustered some areas like here and not others? Okay. Done. Finished. Please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and as I mentioned, subscribe. Pop over to our group and play along. You will have till the 25th of May to pop in your entries. Now, just to remind you what I have used today, I have used the Starlight stamp set with the Star of Light stamp set with the Starlight thinlits to create these cards. So there's two. There are my other two. So you need to make 4 cards using black, white and a pop of colour. So you will be ready for Christmas 2018 to send out cards to all the people you love. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.